ALLEYRATZ Racing brings you Drag Race Coordinator. Drag Race Coordinator is a software program that we use to get our times when we run down the drag track. That's brought to us from Dave. He's from Race Coordinator. Thank you for hooking us up, Dave. We really appreciate that. Not a lot of us comment on your forum and everything, but there's tons of us out here using that, and we really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. First things first, Drag Race Coordinator. Dave from Drag Race Coordinator came out with this for us. What you want to do is put Drag Race Coordinator in your search bar. It'll bring you to this screen. Go right over to here. You want to download that. Drag Race Coordinator. When you go to download this, click on it right there. It'll start asking you some stuff up here. Put see more, accept, and it's going to ask you if it wants to make changes to your computer. Go ahead and allow all of that. I already got this installed on this computer, so I'm not going to go through that. It's going to pop up a bunch of screens when it's done. You can exit out of all of that. And then there will be an icon left on the main screen. Here, I'll exit out of this. It'll leave this Drag Race Coordinator icon. That's what we're looking for. Now that we got the software in the program, we got to talk about the hardware. The software is free. The hardware, you got to gather some parts up for and get an interface board. You got to download the software onto the interface board. Let's get a shot of an interface board. There's help out there. Drag Race Coordinator's got a forum. You can go on there and they'll help you figure that part out. I don't know all the terminology about it or exactly how I'm doing to make it work. I just end up pressing a bunch of buttons, hit my head on the table a few times, and it works. So I'm gonna roll with that. On with the program. A couple of our drag racing members are holding races themselves, and they've asked me to help them put together some timers. I'm not a big company doing nothing like that. I'm just a guy in my basement, but for you guys that I've helped out here, here's pretty much what you're gonna get. You're gonna get these rolls of sensors. I got you a light set up here with some extra lights. I'll show you how that works. These are the lights you're gonna have to put on your ceiling or make a gantry. This is your interface board. There's a cable. You're going to get a cable. This is going to plug into the interface and go into the computer. First thing you're going to want to do when you get this, you're going to want to get your sensors out, depending on how many ever sensors you wanted in your track. You're going to want to get your sensors and all that laid out in your track before you do anything else. Let's check out a couple ways to do that. A couple ways of going about doing this. First way, personally, I'd rather lay the whole track out, have the track in place, then drill holes. That way I'm drilling completely through my table. I put the wires under the table, hide all that. A lot. Anyways, if you prefer this way, what you do is you put your holes ready on where you want your track. What you want to do, put you a piece of masking tape here over your holes. After you have your holes, flip your track over, grab your sensors, and just bend them to where they form. They're not weak, don't be scared, you can bend them in place. Bend them right in there and just shoot you some hot glue. What I do is I don't cut it away, I sand it away. I don't know if you can pick that up or not, but what I do is I sand that valley of that track there. That way I can lay the track down and it's still flat on the table, and I can run that cord on the outside of the track. Like I said though, I prefer putting holes right through the table, right where you got the sensors, and then doing it that way. These sensors are going to be marked with the length where the sensor goes, 660 foot, 1,000 foot. There's a start and a finish. It really doesn't matter if you mix those up. they're just marked right now for the longest length of wire will be the finish line. That way, wherever you want to mount that, it'll be close to your computer at the starting line. That's the way I got all that wire laid out. Now, if you want to have that on the end of your track, then you better lay the sensors out the other way. All right. Now that we've got our sensors in our track, we got all the cords of the sensors coming up to your interface board. Hopefully you have them labeled so you know what sensor, which cords you got going on here. You know where that way you ain't got a big mess up here trying to figure out what's going on. The first thing you want to do is get your cord here. Plug this baby in. We're gonna have to set you down for a second to do that, but what we're gonna do is plug this in here, and then this other end is gonna go in your computer. One of them little ports right there. It's gonna plug into that. All right, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna hook that up real quick. Once you got that hooked up, that is gonna power that board up right off of that cord. That's where you're gonna get all your power from, so you don't need no extra cord to power it up. It's gonna bring us back over to the computer. Now we're gonna go to that icon. I think that's what it's called. Drag race coordinator, and open that thing up. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that demo mode is not checked. If it is, go ahead and click it and uncheck it. Let me show you what I mean here. It might be on like that when you come in. Just click it and get out of there. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is go to track setup. Expert track setup. It's going to bring us down to here. If you want, you can change your track name real quick. Okay. Your track scale, you want this 1. You want to bring that down to 1. Any way you can, get it down to 1. Anytime you make changes on this, you have to hit update after you make the change. It ain't gonna show you nothing, but you have to press it, or it ain't gonna save nothing. Okay, now we got that track scale 1. You got your name. Now we're gonna go to configure. Now that we're on configure, it's gonna show you, it should just show you the port that you plugged your cord into. If there's more than one, you got to figure out which one you plugged your cord into and then select it. This one's already selected because there's only one showing. You also want to go over here, and if this says Uno, you want to make sure it says Mega. You're looking for that green connection right there. Now once you've done all this, make sure that if it didn't say Mega and it says Mega now, and you made any changes on here and you click that, you hit accept, and you have to hit update again. Then we can go back to configure. Okay, looking for that green connection. We got it. Very next thing we're going to look at is digital setup. Look at all these wonderful, wonderful pins, numbers and lights and things. When you come on here the first time, I think this roll on this side and this side is lit up. And what you're going to do on all of them that are lit up green, You're going to go in here until you find unused. Wow, that's hard to see. I don't know if you can see that, but it says unused there. Oh, crap, I lost it. Anyways, you select unused, you click on unused. It turns it into unused. You're all good. Make them all unused, every one of them. Come down here after you've made them all unused. We're going to do it right now, actually. Let's just make them all unused. Unused. Let's go over here. We're going to make these all unused. Go back down here and hit accept. Hit update. Hit your update button, and then we're going to go back to configure. Looking for that green dot. That green dot showing that we got connection to the interface board. Now we are going to go back to that digital setup. Let's go ahead and get in there. You find that little arrow. There it is. Okay, digital setup. See all these numbers? All these numbers right here? All of those numbers are right on this board. See them little numbers? All them little numbers are all on this board, all over the board. See them numbers? They're everywhere. They're all over the place. Ground, there's volts coming out. There's all kinds of stuff on this thing. We're looking at these numbers. And what you do is those numbers, you can make any of these numbers do anything you want. See there? You click on it, you click on the number you want, and you can make it do anything. Look, you can make it be a light, winter LED. This light here, you can put a light bulb to tell you when to start. That's how you make your tree. You got to run all kinds of light bulbs and tie them into this. You can make yourself a tree if you wanted. Let's look through here. There's a start, lane 1, lane 2. Segments are your center sections. Your whatever you got in between a start and a finish line. 330 foot mark, 660 foot mark, depending on what you got coming. We'll get into the segments more later. Now what we got here, if you got one of these coming, is we got the numbers laid out already on these. I got the wires coming out of that thing. They go over to this. There's your numbers. Those numbers correspond with that screen that you're seeing on Drag Race Coordinator. If the numbers come off, you got an extra sheet. Tells you what number pins we got going on here. Okay? There's some extra pins in case you want to grow later. There's extra pins on there for now. Okay? There's all your pin layout. Now, let me explain that further. There's number 48. We have our 660 foot mark out. I'm going to have these wires marked. 2 of these are ground wires. The 2 ground wires, they go right into that black spot. Anywhere. You can run these 2 together if you want. Put the wires in there, you screw them down tight, you're in business. That's your ground bar. Okay? The other wire, you have 2 wires left. That's going to be your lane 1 and lane 2. That is going to be up to you, however you laid your sensors out. So just follow your color code and you'll know if you're on lane 1 or lane 2. Bring your end down here. I'm going to try number 48 out. I would plug this in here, tighten that up with the ground wire, and then I'll go look for number 48 on this screen. I'm going to go ahead and put that into 48 and hook up the ground wire. I'll be right back. We got the yellow wire plugged into 48. I just went ahead and hooked up both grounds. I'll have those marked. So we're looking for that on 48. We'll go over to the screen. Yeah, I did say it's the 60. I forgot what sensor I said it was, but we're just going to call it the start over here just to show you what's going on. All we're doing is looking to make sure that the sensor is going to work. All right, we got it plugged into number 48. Hit 48. We're going to call it start lane 1. That is now the start sensor for lane 1. Can you see that? Start lane 1. What you want to do is come down and hit accept. Hit that update. Go back to configure. Go back to the digital setup. And now that thing's green because it doesn't have a light on it. Now to check to make sure that this sensor's working, you can take one of them lights you got with your kit, turn it on, plug it in, shine it on that sensor, and then look over here to make sure that green button went away. And you are in business. Now, if you know all of the wires that you're laying out, you can go ahead and plug in all your numbers. You can make all the numbers say what they want to. You don't have to do one at a time and hit accept and all of that. You can go ahead and fill the whole thing out, fill all your numbers out, tell the thing what you want it to do, get your start and your finish laid out is your main thing. Get your start and your finish laid out, hit accept, hit update, and then you can go drive on your track and make sure that that's working for you before you even go any further. Once you've got your start and your finish lines sensors hooked up into place, you should be able to turn your lights on and make them green lights go off. Your sensor should be in the track. I'm going to be holding these by hand with the flashlight. I got the sensors in my hand. I'm going to move them into the light. See, all the green dots are gone. Okay, they'll come back now. See that? I'm out of the light. Let's see if I can get them all to stay in the light. Oh, we're close. Okay, they're all in the light. Now what we should be able to do is go out of this, hit accept, update, exit out of that. And what you need to do is make sure you have two drivers there. I don't know if I said that or not. What you do is you go over here, you pick a driver, and just drag them on over there to put them into place. We already got two over there, so we're good to go. Next thing you want to do is go up here to race setup. Expert race setup. Down here it's going to say breakout type. Now, there's probably all kinds of stuff you can do. For me, I go right to heads up. Go to heads up. Pick the sportsman tree. And hit update. Oh, there's something going on. Anyways, update. Once you hit that update button, you can go on out of there. And you're ready for your first race. Go down here and hit start race. And spacebar will start the lights. When the car rides over the sensor, it'll set it off. What we're going to do, since I'm not in a track or nothing, I'm going to move them 2 beginning sensors out of the light. Hopefully I don't mess this all up and trigger off the finish, but I'm going to give this a whirl. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, well, I triggered one finish line, but you get the idea. Moving them out of the light starts setting them off, which moving them out of the light is just the car riding over the sensor. See that? And there would be your first race down your track. Now what you can do is either hit the space bar to start again, and it'll just run. You see how that light, it's out of the light, so it disqualified that. That thinks the car ran over it. That's because I don't have none of these sensors in the track. Just showing you what's going on here. To restart that, now all you do is you exit out of the screen right there. You hit X, takes you right back to this, and then you hit start race again. Like I was saying, once you're in here, as long as you don't disqualify, you can keep hitting that space bar. I usually don't do that because then it starts adding up things down here and everybody's wondering what's going on. We're not even rotating them. We're going heads up anyways. It's one-on-one matches, 2 out of 3, whatever. So there you have that for racing. Go ahead and get used to that, running that, have some fun. Then we'll get into setting up segments. Hopefully that was helpful to some of you and get you started on the right track. Started off a drag race coordinator. I'm going to save the segment part. The segments are the sensors in between the start and the finish. I'm going to make part 2 of this video. So this will be part 1. Part 2 will be how to get the segment sensors to work. All right, guys, catch you later.